Good evening, everyone. Thank you for joining us. Obviously, over here
in progress.
with our friend Danny and many other online, and very exciting. First of all, what's happening cosmically is we know that we are entered yesterday and a day earlier. We call it to the month of Adar, the month of Pisces. Now we have in this year 2 months of Pisces, which represent the leap year. When you have leap year, you're adding one more month of Adar, which is in the end of the cycle of the year. Now there's many secrets that we can connect to and we can draw in our life. But particularly, I want to connect to, first of all, to indicate what do I need to think about speaking in this month for the next 30 days. We spoke last month. It's important to remind ourselves because we sometimes forget. The month of Adar, the month of Pisces, called Adar. Adar comes from the word Idra. Idra is few things to understand. Idra is the spine, the individual, the physical spine in Aramaic, but also Idra represent assembly. That's why even the spine also represent assembly of all the entire body is connected. The brain, the mind, everything is connected to the spine. So in the month of Pisces, we're strengthening our core desire, core intention, core who you are is being strengthened in this month. Now, some of us, or most of us, when we're looking at ourselves, we're not so proud of ourselves all the time. Our behavior, the way we think, or the way we interact, or our falling, we're not always inspired about ourselves. Majority of the time is we sometimes even been too hard on ourselves. So, what is this month can tell us? That it's a hint of how can I make myself so strong, so powerful? What can I do when I see my shortcoming? What can I do when I see that I'm not really close to my potential? Because majority of us, you'll be honest with yourself, it says we are very far from our potential. We know we have potential to do way more. So there's a verse that we always says, Mishanichnas Adar, marbim besimcha. When Adar comes in, when the month of Pisces comes in, you should increase with happiness. Why in that month? Why not any other month, right? And the gift of this month is how do you strengthening your core? What we call even in this world, they call it backbone, You have a backbone, stand for your rights, stand for what you believe. A lot of people are bending over, being flat for other people. Adar, also the word Adar is the word Adir. Adir, which is great, tremendous, mighty. That's the one. The month of Adar is the month, the mighty, finish the year strongly. One of the idea is that many of us are mostly robotically doing. When something happy occasion happen, we happy. When someone tells me something funny, we smiling. When someone doesn't smile to me, I don't smile. When something not happy happening, we can't be happy for that, or something that a result that we're looking for. Right? Anybody is happy when they break up with their relationship, right? Depend who and depend what the relationship was, right? But the breakup is always like, hard on people. What about when a deal fell through? Anybody is excited about it? No. What about when you don't get the result you thought you're gonna have? What about the tickets that you lost? What about the money that was spent and then never came back? What? Most of us are not happy in this situation. And that is, first of all, an indication of what we want to do this month. For 30 days, anything that happened or not, good or not so good, crack a smile. Say to yourself, I'm happy for that, even though you're not yet. Sometimes you need to fake it until you make it, specifically in this month. Any other time, we should take it a different way. This time, increase more smiles during the day, more smiles. Even if it looks weird, even if you look weird, smile. Smile, because even though we know like, oh, no, I don't want to smile. What's the smiling? It looks dumb, No, this month, the silliness about it, I tell you the benefit for that is reduce the amount of doubt that you have in life for the entire year. That's what it does. Secretly what it does. Let's say, for example, in the 6 months from now, you don't know where this doubt comes in. That is where you can finish them before they even coming in this coming year. So when you smile or when you're happy for something that is out of the realm of what you thought is going to happen, right? You technically, in this particular month, we have what we call is the seed level of all doubts. You technically receive immunity. It's the immune system against depression and against doubts. This is what we have this month. So it's a tremendous opportunity to awaken ourselves to complete removal of doubts in our life with every situation that's happening. As much as you can from within, crack a smile. Be happy for that. I'm not here, but you know what? I'm happy. I'll be happy for that. Push yourself in this month this way. You're eliminating doubt in 6-7 months from now that really are necessary, for your process. That's another idea that it's something that we can see the benefit of that. Another thing is, in this month, my teacher always told us, a lot of people needed reasons to be happy, right? So my teacher says, if you're happy, every day, be happy. Again, make sure that you're happy, that there is no reason who ignited the happiness. Make sure there's no reason for the happiness. And if you have many moments that you are happy for no reason, the Creator will give you a very good reason to be happy. Very good reason to be happy. If you're happy for no reason this year, this week, this month. But you have to remember it works the other way around as well. If you're complaining for no reason, if you're just being negative for no reason, the Creator will give you a very good reason to be depressed and to be unhappy. So that's another important element of this month of Adar, this month of Pisces, to completely remove that we call the illusionary of what makes me happy, what doesn't make me happy. Next is, you want to create, it says in the month of Adar, the month of Pisces, you want to create Seder Olami Chadash, a new order, a new worldly order. What do you mean new worldly order? New order in the world. It's in this time, in this month, you want to really sit with yourself. Again, like people doing it in December 30 or whatever, right before the year starts. This is to restructure how your vessel is functioning, your spiritual vessel, right? How you feeding your spiritual vessel. You need to create a new order, meaning order for your day, how you wake up, not in a robotic way or how you brush your teeth and all of that, but how you functioning spiritually with your vessel from today. You can create a structure, better to create a structure in this month. Establishing what am I doing every day, how am I connecting, how am I plugging to my soul, to my vessel every single day. Create an order. Once you create order in this month, The entire, this month have many different angelic systems that allow you to make it happen. Unlike any other time of the year. How many of us did, how you call it, the end of the year, resolution. Everybody do resolution, right? Majority of us, the first week of January, the resolution is out of the door. All the planning and all the cold bath and all the exercises that you said you're going to do this year, it's out of the window January 1st. December 30th, 31st, you're excited, start. Why? There's no spiritual support that comes to help you to do that. That's why it's very difficult. A lot of people doing it and then falling from that. I'm going to start journaling every day in the year 2024. You probably did it that day. And then that's it. Right? Not even that. So what do we need to understand? In the month of Adar, this is where you want to create an order. Because, again, there's many reasons that I can't get into it right now. It's very deep understanding here. So I'm just giving you the structure of where does it come from. But we know the entire year is dependent on how you're going to show up in this month. The entire next year, right? So better for us to create a structure that this month or this year, I would love to have many moments where I'm going above my nature. This is where you completely remove yourself from the limitation of this world. But you have to decide in this month. In this month. Now, another thing is that we have there's many other secrets, but that's, I think, for the month of Adar, month of happiness, this month of the assembly as well, better also to create more togetherness, assembly. Put people together as much as you can. This month. More you put people together, more that month will give you support, more the cosmos will be open for you. Now, a little bit about this week. In this week, we also have what we call the portion that is being read in this week, portion from the Torah. And we know the Torah portion just indicates the story, the body of that, doesn't represent the soul. That's why the Zohar and many Kabbalists gives us many different secrets that wants to be revealed this month, this week. What is the big picture of this month, of this week energy? Very interesting. We're reading again, if I remember in the last few weeks, I told you we're going to read about the structure of the Mishkan. There was in the desert, they build what we call a structure, physical structure. Now, that physical structure was traveling to Jerusalem to be put in the Holy Temple. And it's the holiest of the holiest. It's called the Mishkan. Mishkan is a tabernacle, is a structure from wood with gold and silver and copper and many different jewelries and many different things that was built and covers that you have. And as well, the clothing of the priest, of the high priest that was serving within that as a channel for the people. Why do we read about it again? We read about it a couple of weeks ago. We're reading about the same structure again. The first idea is the people that built that in the last time, we find out that those people, what we call, were mixed multitude, Erev Rav. People who are mixed, have a mixed feeling about it. They believe, but they don't believe. They are absolute, but they're not really all the way. They, in one hand, they say they love you. In the other hand, they speaking bad about you. They have like something under their lip, right? How you call it, right? Words, the slip. Huh?
Under their breast.
Something. There's a verse, a certain sentence like that, I don't know. But there's like some other underneath words that you like subliminal way. They're not clean. They're not as pure. Therefore, the structure need to rebuild again by different people. Now, obviously, we learn many things about it. One is, why do you think in life sometimes we're repeating many things, doing again and again and again and again? And strictly because of that. Somehow life will bring you again in a cycle to the same situation until you're going to make it right, until you're going to do it exactly. And if not, you're going to be stuck in a loop again and again and again until you purify your thought, you purify your intention, you purify everything about you that touches continuity. This structure was meant to be a vehicle, a tool to bring light to the world. But the people that were busy with that, they didn't have the right intention, right? Or somehow of the, you know what? I can share with you one story for me, okay? So last week, I traveled to Israel, and I brought, what we call the Nano Zohar. I don't know if some of you know about it. So we created, a chip with all the Holy Zohar in a nano level, right? So we created this unbelievable project that somehow were manifested. And I was the channel to bring it to Israel, right? So when I brought it to Israel, in the custom, they stopped me, right? All the way everything was clean, everything was good, nobody said anything. Yeah, of course, in JFK, they opened it. I get to Israel, I'm about to cross the custom, right? In the green, whoever was. And then, excuse me, sir, boom. And then they saw the entire suitcase is filled with all those necklaces and all those doors. What are you doing, right? Everybody get like, what are you doing, right? They caught like a big, so listen, this is for, for a donation. This is for peace in the world, to bring light to Israel, No matter what you said, they took it. They took it. Now, again, you have to understand, I have a lot of, plans to go around Israel, and many people waiting for that. And that's different story. But they take it. And again, I'm saying to myself, no matter what I did, no matter who I fought, no matter who I get with phone calls the whole night. I'm telling you, I call LA friends, I call New York, I call London, I call everyone, find a way to get me the Zohars out of the custom. Nothing. The whole night, I'm like, okay, I'm thinking to myself, again, this is this portion, right? So I'm thinking, wait a second. Like the Creator told Moses, rebuild again, because the people had attachment, the people who built it had agenda. And I'm saying to myself, maybe it's my ego. Maybe I have an agenda. Maybe I'm not the right channel to bring it into Israel, right? Maybe I'm not, so again, I went through all that the whole night, I'm telling you. And in the morning, I start making phone calls to the Ministry of Defense, to the Custom Border, anyone. Then I realized at 1 second, I got like, you have to let go. That's the one thing I didn't do. I didn't let go. The one thing I needed to do, you know what? You need to let go. And then as soon as I said to myself, you know what, let go. You know what came to me? It says, you are not the channel to release it from the custom. This is what, as soon as I let go, because I was like, I'm telling you, I can't believe it. I can't believe I don't have it, it's like 1,400 Zohars. Then I'm saying to myself, you know what? The one thing I didn't do is let go. As soon as I let go, a thought came to me, and I said, you are not the channel to release it. You are not. So I let it go. So I called in 8 o'clock in the morning, because I haven't slept the whole night, thinking and going through, like, really, I was like devastated. So I call up this woman. She's a great student of the center in Israel, and she's like really like gives Zohars to everyone, and she's really doing this work. Anyway, I call her up. I said, listen, I can't go to any of the custom. They can't see me, and I cannot be involved. I'm too strong about it. I don't know. I need to let go. You should go. You should go. They told me, this is Thursday night. They told me you can come on Sunday. Maybe we're going to release it. If you bring approvals from the government. I said, no. I'm not waiting on Sunday. Sunday, I have the whole thing, the whole... Friday morning, I sent to this lady, said, this is the place. Take the number. Go there. She goes there. There was like a little window where they're custom. She go there, and the only thing she did, and I'm with her on the phone, right? Like, once the only thing she did is she started crying. She didn't speak. She just started crying and crying and crying in the window. And everyone, what happened? Oh. And she said, we are a lot of mothers and concerned mother who built it, who brought it to Israel to share. What? All of a sudden comes the manager. He says, what is it all about? He says, and again, long story short, he made me pay a fine, very, very little fine, and says, okay, take it. And miraculously take it. Right away I went, right before Shabbat, I got the whole Zohar back in my hand, So anyway, that story came to me right now as I'm sharing with you about the building of that Mishkan. Sometimes it's one little extra attachment that you have that prevent from the thing to happen. Sometimes even, I know sometimes I'm talking to parents who wants to bring children to the world. If the parent is involved in the moment of conception, right? Also, it's interfere in the process because you want to be a channel to bring the higher soul over here. Just a channel, right? Not me and how I feel. You build a business, you build a product. If the product is about you, eventually you limit that product. That's the idea of the Mishkan. The idea of the Mishkan is nothing to do with the structure that they build in the desert. It's the internal structure of our vessel. Is when you connect it to the higher priest inside of you and being a pure channel to everything you're touching. They say in this week, it says, they put a parochet amasach. I don't know if you went ever. There is the place where we're putting the Torah on, and under there is like a parochet. There's like a little cloth, like a little, very much a thick velvet type of cloth, It's called parochet amasach. And also that, and then also when you're opening the ark, there's also like the little bit of a screen type of thing you open. So he says, the instruction said to put a curtain or a parochet. It's called parochet. So the word parochet should be maybe a vilon or a curtain. Why they call it parochet? And masach is a screen, right? Is the word screen. What is the indication here? The Kabbalah says it's nothing to do with the physical thing. It's something that you need to create internally. What? Learn to separate the good and the bad from inside of you. Know to separate the good and bad. You need to create a curtain, right? It has to be a hard work. Parochet comes from the word parech. Parech is a hard work. It's avodat parech. Avodat parech meaning is slavery almost. Parochet is the name for hard work. You cannot separate the good from the bad if it's too easy. If it's too easy, it's not separating anything. Separating, you have to install a curtain that separates the good from the bad. The desire to receive for the self alone from the desire to share. You have to create that division between two. You can't stay with, I have an agenda, but I'm hiding it behind the curtain. of something for me. Eventually, it's not going to come out right. And it has to be in your mind, and it has to be in your heart. Balev in the ובראש ובמוח. In the mind and in the heart. You have to create a clear division. What's good and what's bad. When is your agenda? It's separate. No. I don't involve my agenda here. I don't involve my ego here. And it has to be hard. If it's too easy, you haven't done nothing. It's just become a mixture. Okay? Then another thing. Again, there's many points. I'm choosing carefully of this point because in the end of this portion, there is a beautiful revelation. When the light was revealed over that Mishkan, over this structure, it says there was fire and then there was the cloud, right, that resting upon that. The cloud that rests upon the Mishkan represent each one of us when we connected to the divine inspiration, to what we call the Ruach HaKodesh. When you have the divine inspiration, it's as if the cloud is resting upon you. What does it mean? Cloud can be also, think about it, what does this cloud represent? Every time the cloud was parking, they had to park in the desert. Every time the cloud was moving, everybody has to pack up and go, right? Which means you need to be directed not by your ego. You need to be directed by where the divine is taking you, where you can influence the most. A lot of us, when it's motivated or been encouraged by the ego, you're always going to find what's comfortable and what's serving you more than others. Or even if it's serving others, it's because you get more benefit for you. So therefore, it's important to create what we call the cloud. What do you mean the cloud? A connection to the divine. I need a connection. That is the Mishkan. So it says, the Kabbalist, how do I get to the level that the true protection, the true cloud resting upon us? We need to build a vessel that is only for the sake of sharing. Build it. You have to build it. It's not happening. I'm doing it only for the sake of giving. It's not true. It's not honest. It's just motivated by the ego. A person needs to start doing every single day, and recommended this week and this month to start taking small action only for the sake of influence good on others. Only small, right? Actions, actions that are not motivated by anything or anyone or any maybe results. Small. Again, it's so easy. I'm going to give away all my money. I'm going to give away all my life. No. That's not true, and that's not real. Important for us to build a vessel, and then when you build a vessel like that, when you're motivated with action are just for sharing, you are being directed by the divine. The cloud is resting upon you, doesn't move. It says that the lo yamish me'oel, which is the cloud never moved away from that. Again, we know that Moses, it says v'lo yachal Moshe leikanes, which means Moses could not enter to that because it was so elevated, such tremendous light, right? He couldn't go because the cloud was resting upon him. What does it mean in our life? When we get to a place, when you've been motivated or been moved or been directed by higher powers, right? It's important to understand that the wrong people not gonna come closer to you. The wrong circumstances will stay away from you. That's what it means. Moses could not, because the cloud was protecting him from wrong people, wrong situation, wrong temporary relief that we have. You know, it's important that when we rest upon us with the divine inspiration, with the Ruach HaKodesh, the Holy Spirit, you have to remember the benefit or the protection for that. It means that the wrong people will stay away. Or you're not going to be able to get to a place that which is not good for you. And this is what we want. To be directed by that, not to be directed by our ego. So the name of this parasha is called Pekudei. Pekudei. If you read literally, Ele Pekudei HaMishkan, these are the objects or these are the materials that the tabernacle needed. That's literally. But Pekudei come from the word Pakid. Pakid is a clerk. Pakid is a clerk. Sometime in life, you need to be a Pakid, of the clerk of the Creator, right? I'm just a secretary. They told me to do this, I'm doing this. Most of us sometimes getting too busy with the messages. Sometimes we're too busy with I do this, I don't do this. Just be a channel. Just be a Pakid. Just be a, when you come to a government office, right? Let's say you go to DMV, right? There's a person, there's a clerk there or whatever it is. They cannot, you bring the document, sir. This is not the right document. They don't really, I don't like you. That's why I'm going to make your life harder. No, they cannot do it. I mean, maybe people think there is, but if your documents are not right, they clearly tell you this is not right. If it's right, they're just doing the work, not being busy with that.
Sometimes it's right.
Sometimes
it's wrong.
Sometimes, because of an agenda, right? But majority of the time, a Pakid is somebody who do what he's supposed to do and let go. Doesn't go. Imagine all the clerks will take credit. Oh, what a great we are. What do you mean? What a credit you take? You just meant to do your work. You do your work and you move on. Why are you getting all this and make sure everybody sees me doing the work? In the spiritual world, in the spiritual work, sometimes it's just important as to be simple. Be a Pakid, be a clerk. Do what you've been asked to do, and that's it, and let go. And a lot of us get busy with the messages and get busy with who and what's going to be there. And just do it and let go. Nobody asks you to think. When it comes to the Creator work, when you want to be connected to the divine, nobody asks you to think, nobody asks you to do. When do you stop receiving information? Is when you become calculative. When you're a Pakid who calculating, right? Look, I did 5 words, I did 5 doc. When you become calculative, when you do cheshbonot, when you start, measuring things and how much and what, you lost. You totally lost your connection. I think we're good for today. It's a beautiful understanding over here, very simple. But again, remember, the month of Adar, the month of Pisces, have the strength. And the strength can come to you when you assemble people together, even just us right now together, saying and launching for this world an amazing connection, as well strengthening your core, who you are. Don't beat yourself. Just be happy for you seeing your shortcoming. Start crack a smile even if you don't want. Increase smiles this week and this month. Increase happiness even though it sounds silly. This month have a great benefit because it's solving doubts that wants to come in few months from now. This is the benefit. And again, with the work that we do, we will be able to rest upon us the cloud of protection. What it means, the divine inspiration, the Ruach HaKodesh, to guide us, to lead us to the right information, the right people, and of course, to push away the wrong people of our life. Because sometimes, there are people in our life that comes to us and then they leave and you think, oh my God, why? I want those kids to... No, the Creator pushing them away from you because they're not benefiting you. Read the map correctly. So anyway, lot of blessings, lot of success. amazing month. Let's stay connected and motivated. Have a good week.
Thank you.
Anybody